Welcome to the Be Happy Now show. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. I'm Claudia-Sam. If you know that you're here for a bigger reason, this is the place to be. Together, we ditch the self-care guilt and quit the go with less fear and more trust. Tune in to living life in alignment with your full potential. The Be Happy Now show starts now. Hello and welcome to the Be Happy Now show. I'm your host, Claudia-Sam. And today I want to just have a conversation with you about these two words, God or the universe, and whatever other word that you might be using in your day-to-day. And why I'm bringing this topic, it's mainly because if you are here, you might have at heart the desire to make a real difference in the world, to live life on purpose, to make an impact. Does that resonate with you? So in this episode, I'll share some insights and some learnings that I've gotten to help you connect to a greater whole, to a bigger energy, and not feel so alone on your path to purpose. I'm going to share with you a story about when I did my first yoga teacher training and what my relationship to the word God in one of my yoga teaching books. It's pretty different now. So this isn't a religion-based talk. We're really here to connect with the essence of who we are at a deeper level, that essence of love that is within you so that you can embody your raison-d'être, that reason for being here, your bigger meaning. We're here to just kind of maybe make sense of it because we are human. And oftentimes what happens is that the mind is taking over and trying to make sense of what we should do, what we shouldn't do. And we use these, the head and the logic and the rules of how we were brought up to and how to live like a quote unquote good life. We use that as an indicator of what to do. And instead, I'm inviting you to tune into that loving essence and your intuition, both together. So welcome. If you've been here for a while, let me know, reach out, 5-star the show and leave a review. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know you're here. If you're not yet part of the Be Happy Now show crew, where you get to receive the episode replays and you get to, just participate actually in what the topics of the show, you will get to participate in what the different episode topics are. And so just go to the BeHappyNowShow.com so that you get to do that. And now, okay, so full disclosure, why I feel like I'm stumbling on my words. I'm fully grounded and I also just woke up. And usually, so I woke up, I meditated, and I felt so inspired. It was like this download of, I need to do this episode. I need to record this topic. This is what feels like it's so present in my heart. And so I got dressed and I just came on and recorded the show for you. So please bear with me as I speak my first words of the day to you and with you. So what's inspiring me to share this is because, so first, let me share that story about in my first yoga teacher training. It was in one of the yogic books, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. And wow, what a book. I loved reading that book. And I loved reading it more the second time because the first time, the word God with a capital G was everywhere in the book. And I'm not baptized. I didn't grow up with the need to go to church or an association to a specific religion. Of course, my grandparents not of course, but just so that you know, they were going to church. They were more in alignment with the Catholic religion. And so the ways of operating in the world, the ways of being, the what's right, what's wrong, the how to be a good person, that kind of education came from that, I would say, that if we were to name one religion. And I've always felt really, well, not connected to the idea that one person, a human, could have created the world. Now, I don't want to start a discussion on religion. That was one of the things I said. This isn't a religious talk. This is just to give you context. When I was younger, I had this repulsion to religion. And so when I was reading the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali and the word God was everywhere, that's directly what I was linking it to. So I would cross off the word in the book and I would put question marks, and then I would walk into the yoga class in the teacher training and I would be like, what the hell? Why is this everywhere? Oh, I remember the anger that was behind that action. And as I practiced yoga and as I recognized the beauty and the importance to connect with something greater than who I am as a human, I understood that the word God doesn't mean one person when it comes to yogic philosophy or spirituality. And what I want to bring today is just a discussion so that you get to also use the words that resonate with you. So why this is important is often because as humans, we think we get to do everything alone, that we need to find our job alone, that we need to show that we're tough. And so we need to go through all the ups and downs of life alone and be closed off in our emotions and not share with the world what's going on. You know, you walk down the street and it's the how are you very fast question, but no stopping to really speak with the person. We live in a very individualized society in North America, in the West anyway. And when we get to connect with the deeper essence of who we are, we no longer work through life or operate and show up in life with an individualized energy, and rather we show up with the knowing that we all share the same foundation. We all share a similar energy, and we're all here to be loved. We're all here to love, and we're all here to experience this world as humans. And so to give even more context, when you think about our sun, it's a ball of fire in the middle of dark space in this place that we call space. So it's in the middle of dark space. Sometimes we can call it the universe. And there's a ball of fire staying, quote unquote, stagnant. Okay. And it's there. Our universe, our solar system revolves around this sun well, not our solar system, but the Earth's sphere, the Earth's life, right? Around the Earth is the moon. The moon circulates around the Earth. The Earth turns on its own axis around the sun. And that is what keeps life on planet Earth alive. And actually, one of the things that I learned not so long ago is that, did you know that the solar system is actually always moving? Like, it's actually always moving. And it's really interesting because it looks like it's not, right? Because when you track the speed of something, you get to look at something that's standing still, so that when something's standing still, you get to see, okay, it goes at this speed because you have something to compare it to. But when you look at our whole solar system, now I had this written down. So the Earth's orbital speed around the sun is about 67,000 miles per hour. So that's around 107,000 kilometers an hour. And the Milky Way, which is the orbit of the sun. Okay, so the Milky Way or rather, let's just talk about the sun and the solar system. According to NASA, they appear to be moving at 200 kilometers per second, or at an average of 448,000 miles per hour. So it doesn't seem like we're moving, but we're moving. Where are we moving to? This is the dark space mystery. Where are we moving to? Nobody knows what's happening. But the thing that I want to bring your awareness to is that no human has to force that orbit around the sun and the solar system and the Milky Way. No human has to press a button. No human has to force that mystery to work. It just happens. It just works. Since it just works, the word that I like to use to describe this, I use the word mystery. There's also the word energy. There's an energy that makes this traveling in space possible. There's an energy that makes gravity a thing. There's an energy that makes the moon go around the earth. There's an energy that makes the earth go around the sun. The word energy is so powerful, and it's not all the time explicable. So when we're thinking about, okay, yeah, who am I on this planet Earth? One of the most reassuring ways that I like to see it comes from Marianne Williamson's teachings of the Course in Miracles, and how one of the words that I learned or the sentences is that we are unique expressions of the light of God, capital G. And this is where, as unique expressions of the light of God, you get to use the word as you want. So for me, I like to use the word positive energy source. I used to use the words the universe because of this mystery and this huge energy force, and it gets to be the same thing too. And yet it can be different. So what I want to say today is that you get to make your own words. You get to make your own meaning, because it's your life. And I'm not here to preach you one specific way to look at life and one specific word to use that is better than. I have clients who do Bible studies, and I have clients who don't have a religion. It doesn't matter, because what we're all here to align with is that energy of love. And so, in other words, if as humans we came on this earth, we are a fragment of that whole mystery of energy, right? That just makes all of this function properly. Nobody has to force it. It just happens. As humans, we could also see that we get to be channels for that energy. We could see that as humans, we get to be channels for that energy. What does that mean? Well, for Marianne Williamson, she says, God, use me. Sharon Gannon from Jivamukti Yoga says, I am the instrument. I am an instrument. Waking up every morning, planting the feet in the earth. I am an instrument. God, what will you have me do? What will you have me say? Where would you have me go? Who would you have me connect with? What would you have me align with? So when I get to now use the word God, because there's no more angry charge behind the word, and I get to connect to that deeper essence of love when I do say that word. That's how it resonates with me now. And what I want to remind you is that you get to choose your word. So you could say, okay, energy, positive energy source, the universe, what would you have me do today? Who would you have me connect with? What would you have me say? Where would you have me go? And what that inspires us to connect with is the inner voice of the energy of your true being. That helps you connect with the energy of your true being. You could also call it your intuition, because your intuition could be the voice for that essence of love. The intuition could be the channel from that bigger energy. When we silence the mind, okay, when we don't give so much power to the worry, to the anxiety, to the fears, to the self-doubt, then we make space for self-trust, self-confidence. We give space for the inner knowing that we belong, the inner knowing that we're enough. We leave more space for self-love. And in that space, we get to hear different answers than from the head. I'm going to give you a very basic example. After I meditated this morning, and I had this insight, okay, I get to go record the Be Happy Now show right now. I asked, okay, God, what will you have me do? What will you have me say? And what came through my mind, through the mind, is this sentence: God doesn't want you to drink coffee. God doesn't want you to drink coffee. Listen, this is totally the ego. Because if it comes from the intuition doesn't go, God is saying this. No, the intuition or the energy that you're channeling to hear the inner voice, it's just a sentence. It's just the go record the Be Happy Now show podcast. That is an action. That is a sentence that is not narrated by the mind. So the God doesn't want you to drink coffee, that is totally the mind playing games on me, seeing if I'm listening. So I actually laughed it off. And I went, okay, so this is going to be a little playful, because then, I get to recognize that sometimes the mind will get in the way, that sometimes, well, I might not hear the voice as clearly as on other days. So if ever that is something that you want to learn, I created the tune in method to really help you just be aware of your humanness, of the body, of the mind, of the emotions, and use that to connect deeper with your essence so that you can then trust your intuition and recognize the difference between the head and the heart. Notice the dance between the ego and the soul. So if ever you're curious and you want to know where your place is in the tune-in method and how you could integrate it into your life, just go to tuneinmethod.com. Okay. Now, I want to share some ways that I use, some ways that I connect with, that energy. One of the things that I love to practice, to remember that I am not my mind, that I am not the thoughts of worry and doubt and anxiety. And because, I've been burned out and I know what it is to feel like there's no way out. That was when I didn't allow myself to connect with the essence of love because I was not familiar with it. Nobody had taught me to connect with the deeper meaning of who I am and get out of my head. That's not what you get taught in school. So this isn't about bringing anger to that time of our lives when there might have been a little ignorance about that deeper meaning. It's just what it was. Okay, it made us who we are. What I want to say is that the practice of recognizing that the thoughts are a certain way is powerful. So just like the example I shared with you, God doesn't want you to drink coffee. That is a thought. Where does that come from? Is that soul aligned or is that head aligned? Oh, that's pretty head aligned, because that's how it feels like to me. It feels like it's my head playing games. So one of the main practices that I take on is just being a witness to my thoughts without judgment. And that can happen at any time throughout the day. Like I woke up and I heard the thoughts. I took action from the go record the Be Happy Now show. I took action from that. It felt so exciting. It felt so joyful. It felt so aligned and grounding for me that I didn't negotiate with the thought. Now, the God doesn't want you to drink coffee thought, I negotiated with that. Now, I didn't have coffee yet. I'm still going to tune in and kind of double check, kind of take a pulse check as to, does that feel good? Like, does it feel good for me to drink coffee this morning and have a luxurious oat milk mix in my coffee? Or does it feel like, no, I actually don't, and I don't need to drink that this morning? I don't know. I'm going to check in with myself later. When we get to recognize thoughts, one of the main practices is to not make them into stories. So the thoughts like, okay, God doesn't want you to drink coffee, or you shouldn't do this right now, we don't need to overthink them. We can go, oh, that's head. I just don't want to align with that. Next. That's it. We don't need to give these thoughts more energy, more power. We just get to move on. It's like dropping a hot pan. Oh, it's too hot. Moving on. You get to decide if you want to do that. And if you're like, but Claudia-Sam, no, but. The thought is a thought. You choose if you light the fire of that thought or if you tame it. Throw water on the fire. You get to decide that. And I know you can do it. And sometimes it's just that the mind is so afraid to be left out that it will come back and make you overthink. Okay, it will. And you get to decide, oh, wait a minute, that's overthinking. You get to step out and be a witness to that. One of the things lately that I'm also saying and practicing and tuning into is this one sentence: I surrender my mind to love. I surrender my mind to love. Just by saying that, I feel much more light, much more grounded, less attached to the pessimistic thoughts. Try it. Repeat after me. I surrender my mind to love. Again, I surrender my mind to love. Yes, with lists like, this is it. I'm surrendering my mind to love. There's no other way. Love is that energy, as I learned in many teachings. For example, when you turn on light in a dark room, there's no more darkness, except there's shade, there's shading in some places, but there's no more darkness. You can see now because the light is turned on. Well, love is that energy that does the same thing with those thoughts of worry, with those thoughts of fear, with those thoughts of self-doubt and anxiety. So if you know deep down that you're here for a bigger reason, if you know deep down that you're here to inspire, to make an impact in the world, to make a change in yourself and in others, then you also get to choose to align your energy, your way of being, the way you operate through the world, your choices, the actions you make, the thoughts you have, the words you say. You get to choose if you align with the energy of love or with the energy of fear, with the energy of enlightenment, or rather alignment instead of the energy of separation. And one of the things that Marianne Williamson says is, or actually it's from the Course of Miracles, that anytime we are in self-doubt or worry or anxiety or depression, or we are stuck in the stories of the mind and we are making it mean something else than what it actually means with facts, is that we are separated from love. We are separated from God. We are separated from that bigger whole energy that makes our solar system go so fast, and nobody has to force it. No human has to use their ego to make it work. It just happens. So if you're here to be a leader, to be a guide, to inspire, to lead a life in alignment with who you are, you also get to make choices that keep bringing you in alignment, that keep bringing you in connection with that essence of love, that essence of self-love, that essence of inner voice, of inner guidance, of intuition. And you get to do this with different practices. You can be a witness to your thoughts. You can also do that by being so anchored in your breath. And there is one of the Be Happy Now show episodes that you could go and listen to if you want to learn more about just making meditation a regular practice. That is the episode from July 21st, 2022. So you can go ahead and tune into that, because to connect with that essence of love, you don't need much, because that's who you are. Okay. And for me, that translates in a calm, open, grounded, safe feeling of belonging, of just knowing that everything is okay. That is what love, that deeper essence, that bigger whole, that's what it is to me. And you get to discover what it is to you. Choose a practice, connecting with your breath, maybe witnessing your thoughts, allowing the emotions to flow through you instead of blocking them out. Because just like your intuition is a voice from that bigger whole, from the connection with the universe or with God, your emotions are energy in motion. It's you channeling, just like we are channeling the energy of God, of the universe, of this bigger whole. The emotion is also a way through the body to be expressed. So you get to maybe practice to be with your emotions. There's another episode of that in the Be Happy Now show. You can look it up. And if you want to meditate on that, there's a meditation that I have for free for you on Insight Timer. It's called A Successful Emotional Release. So you can go ahead and tune into that. So my exercise for you today is to just practice saying this: I surrender my mind to love. And to remember that if you get caught up in the mind, if you get extra worried, extra doubtful, extra stressed, are you willing to take a step back, maybe look up at the stars and notice how big the universe is and how you are a part of that in your own uniqueness? You are a part of that in your own uniqueness, and only you gets to channel the light of that bigger force in your own unique way. Only you gets to channel the light of the universe of God in your own unique way. Hence why you have a different meaning than someone else. Hence how you get to change the world and make an impact and live life on purpose and make a difference in your own unique way. And of course, get support. Be coached. Have people around you that can help remind you to reconnect with that bigger force that's within you, because it's already inside of you. You have it in you. Okay. If you do want to be coached by me, then go to Claudia-Sam and there is also, an important information here that when you are coached by me, you are flexing your own soul connection muscle so that you can be your own inner guide. I'm here to help you reconnect with that voice inside of you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. And lastly, I want to share in the Be Happy Now show, there is also an episode about, hang on one sec. Episode from March 31st, 2022 called How to Choose the Right Coach for You, because I might not be the right coach for you. Maybe there's someone else that you would align with, and that's perfectly fine. You get to maybe listen to that episode and be inspired by it. Thank you so much once again. Share the Be Happy Now show with your friends. And I'm so looking forward to hearing from you and inviting you in the Be Happy Now show crew at the BeHappyNowShow.com. Bye.
You've been listening to the Be Happy Now show with me, Claudia-Sam. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. Tune in live every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on transformationtalkradio.com. You are worthy of being you and of connecting to what stops you from living the life you are meant to live. Access more soul connection coaching at ClaudiaSamCoaching.com.